Last Thursday's New York Post headline had an explosive new break in the developing hunt for the Boston bomb suspects. Not only were they wrong, but the Post editor, Carl Allen, defended the headline to the Huffington Post's Michael Calderone, saying that his paper was simply doing what law enforcement sources were telling them. The Post was not the only media outlet being scrutinized. CNN was taken to task for some early reporting errors, and Reddit and other crowdsourcing sites also generated some false leads. Here to discuss is former ABC News president David Weston. I heard David Remnick on one of the morning shows saying that he understood what happened with CNN. They got some bad information, but he didn't understand how the New York Post could run with this photo and then refuse to apologize for being wrong.
I think that what the New York Post did was not just wrong, but inexcusable. When you're putting photos up like that, you must realize that you can lead to almost a lynch mob mentality, and you have to be very, very careful. Mistakes always get made in breaking news. I made mistakes when I was running ABC News. But it once was the case that when you made a mistake, you really took it seriously and you apologized for it and you did whatever you could to avoid it. That doesn't seem to be as common these days.
One of the things that the New York Post said in defense of itself was that they were simply doing what law enforcement told them to do. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but is that a normal procedure where news outlets sort of run with leads, where newspapers print front page cover stories based on what law enforcement interests suggest?
Well, the New York Post story did not say the law enforcement authorities have asked us to give you these photos to see if you know anything about these individuals. The way they put that on the front cover of the newspaper strongly implicated these two people as likely perpetrators of this horrible crime. So I think that that's a little disingenuous on the New York Post part. That's not the way the story appeared.
After CNN made the error, John King was the one who was on air reporting it. They started using a lot of passive voice, a lot of, we did this wrongly, that wasn't true. Once you make that type of blunder, how do you correct it?
Well, the first rule when you make that kind of blunder is to, as quickly as possible, own the blunder, say you made a mistake, and apologize for it. You get yourself in even more trouble by trying to hedge, by saying, well, it really wasn't our fault, it was somebody else's fault. You're much better off saying, we just made a mistake and we're sorry and we'll try not to do it again. But part of the problem here also is you've got a lot of information coming in. There's a lot of competition, not only among the news organizations, but with Twitter and with Facebook and with social media, that's making this more and more likely. And as a practical matter, some people I thought were hyping the coverage, which goodness knows didn't need hyping given the drama that was played out on TV. But some people were actually were hyping what they were having to say.